this thing that happened last year in 2014. It was all about the 7-year-old Dylan Farrow. It was all about.
Well, that I think I'll be on. I think that was refuted. I mean, as far as the general public's verdict is, I think everyone started rolling their eyes at that, especially after we saw Frank Sinatra at Ronan Farrow's age and went, wait a minute, this family's a fucking mess. That's clearly Frank Sinatra's son. And then when we found out that Farrow, now you got me fucking crossing over to your side. When Mia Farrow said, he took away my kid, I'll take away theirs. And isn't it didn't Woody Allen like hold Ronan Farrow and like kiss fucking Frank Sinatra's sperm and be like, here's my handsome son who sings really well. This is weird, but I love you. You that's a weird level of cuckolding when you make someone raise some guy who banged you's son.
Yes, and when Woody talks about that in the New York Times last year, and when Whitey talks about that in the Daily Beast, these feminists, Slate.com, Vanity Fair, really the whole blogosphere, they say, you guys are slut-shaming Mia. You guys, every rape victim, you have to talk about her sexual history, Slate.com. But since she's 7 years old, her mother will do fine by proxy and turn her mother into a slut. And Bob Whitey didn't do good enough a job with the facts. He did a few things that I like, but now my YouTube has these facts.
Let's look it up.
You're going to check my YouTube?
Sure. Hey, Rat, look up David Fuchs. What's it called?
Well, Vanity.
Well, what's the username of your YouTube username?
Oh, David Fuchs, my own name. There are 3 videos. One video is called Vanity Fair, and that's where I proved that the greatest hero, Tim Russert's widow, Maureen Orth, is the most trusted name in this whole thing. And she did...
you did this in prison?
About Woody Allen, about allegations of sexually abusing Dylan. So let me try. Number 1. Okay. I will start with number 10, because number 10, Maureen Orr says, I'm not a longtime friend, and I have to start with a friend of Mia. I have to start with number 10 because The Guardian, Michael Wolff.
All right, we get the idea. We'll watch it on our own time. It seems somewhat laborious, like pretty detailed.
I wrote in the email that the details are boring. Woody Allen plays his clarinet. That's where I meet Fox News. I met Kimberly Guilfoyle one time and Megyn Kelly one time, and then you the third time. Megyn Kelly, she's Woody Allen's big fan. She goes to listen to him play his clarinet at the Carlisle Hotel.
Oh, yeah, you told me this on the train.
On the train. And now, Megyn Kelly, of all the conversations I had with all these different celebrities, there's nothing like Megyn Kelly. She says to me, you are so much fun. And if I had a camera, who's going to believe that her husband...
I believe you.
Her husband is trying to take her home, and she's still turning back here. But her husband's a lot better than these goons that Kimberly Guilfoyle and Andrea Tertaris from Fox News have.
Yeah. Kimberly Guilfoyle is... she could be... I bet she'll be pretty 3 years after she dies. Like, I've seen her come into Fox with her Lululemons after a jog, and you're just like... It's like a burn victim in reverse.
She was in the right place. It was the nightclubs at the Meatpacking, 9th and 14th Street, the Meatpacking nightclubs. And she's saying to everyone, but I want to go where Simon Cowell goes. And this goon that's with her is reading a sign, but my signs are all different, always.
Oh, that's not your classic?
Well, this time before Whitey...
What about just Woody Allen is innocent, and then big, huge letters, right, on a foam core board, and then just real small at the bottom, YouTube, David Fuchs.
Woody Allen is innocent is like I'm trying to push something. It's not funny. It just Woody Allen.
That took me 20 minutes of talking to you to know if you're for or against him. I couldn't tell if it was sarcasm at the beginning. Then I got Bob Weedy, and then we got Bob, you failed, but I'll tell you. Okay, wait. We're getting off too many tangents here because you've got... it's like talking to Jesus about the Bible. It's hard for you to focus. Sun Yi, doesn't he have Polaroids of her as a young girl? That's what Mia Farrow says.
No, the Polaroids were 19 or 21, and there wasn't one policeman in North America who said, "Wait a minute, was she a minor?" Not the Mia Farrow never claimed. Well, she.
Pat, can you look that up? Were the Polaroids that Woody Allen took of his now wife, his hideous wife? She looks like a basketball someone drew a Chinese caricature on. Were those Polaroids of a minor? Because that's my major obstacle, and if I can get past that, I can enjoy husbands and wives again.
When you said, I couldn't care less, you have to realize that no one could care less about the Sunni thing. All the years, last year when he won his Lifetime Achievement, when he was lionized until Mia Farrow got the Dylan Farrow thing running, and Dylan Farrow wrote in the New York Times, "I'm an adult, and I'm telling you it's true. I was molested." Nobody cared about the Sunni thing. After all those years, and he married her and raised 2 children.
He made 2 children with her?
No, though they are adopted and they're now teenagers.
Oh, but Sun Yi, did he ever have kids with her?
He and Sunni only adopted 2 children.
Oh.
And
Did he fuck them too?
you,
college
you
student.
don't know that 1 million people wrote that.
Oh, really?
He fucked them too.
Oh, look. Polaroids by Ellen of her daughter, college student at the time. Why have I always pictured a little girl in those Polaroids? Not that I picture that a lot. Well, that's good news. All right, so we got those 2 out of the way.
Everyone thinks that the world cares about it. That's why I wrote, don't ask me if he married his grandma. If everybody at the L train says to me, "Oh, he married adopted daughter or stepdaughter," and I say, "Don't ask me if he married his grandmother. This is for advanced students, not for people, not for the crowd who say he married his grandmother." And people,
I've never heard anyone accuse him of marrying his grandmother.
that was a joke when I said
I think Morgan Freeman's granddaughter married her grandfather.
I thought I was safe. I thought I should have gone to great grandmother. I thought I was safe with grandmother till I heard about Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
So everyone thinks that the scandal is about Sunni. No one cared about Sunni. Last year in 2014.
I'm done. I can enjoy his movies again. Let's do the last one. What is your motive? Why do you care so much about this little billionaire Jew?
Billionaire is one thing that Mia Farrow wants everyone to think, that he's Steven Spielberg, that he's putting out these action movies that are making $1 billion.
That's a good point. I mean, his big movies were back when movies weren't really generating.
Her lying goes so far that she goes on Howard Stern and she says Woody doesn't pay his actors any money, and then she has to figure out how to word her lies. She says they go in to the actors go into the movie thinking it's going to be an art film, and she stopped, and she didn't go on to say, turns out it's an action movie, and she had to stop, but Howard Stern was completely on her side. Howard Stern was her ally from the beginning, until it changed later. Well, Howard Stern changed when Matchpoint, when Woody Allen's comeback. Well, I mean, it all depends which
one was Matchpoint, that shitty ripoff of Crimes and Misdemeanors that was in Britain?
Now, what you said is correct. I told your friend on the L train, everyone says Matchpoint is better than Crimes, and Woody says Matchpoint is better. That's
even stole a line from Crimes and Misdemeanors that's in Matchpoint. You know, can we briefly, before we move on?
Your friend said Crimes and Misdemeanors is great, and you said Husbands and Wives are great. The only time you were wrong is when your other friend said Broadway Danny Rose is great, and you said, really? That's
Broadway
Donald
Danny Rose
Trump's face.
sucks.
You know that you did Donald Trump.
It's a New York face. If you lived here for 15 years, you just start going,
you know what?
You're so disgusted with the fucking rats and saying no to homeless people 5 times a day for 15 fucking years. And you started going, no, I don't have any fucking change. And next thing you know, you have this Paulie Walnuts fucking little Steven De Niro Trump face where you're just like, this town sucks.
You know what? That is Little Steven. That is Tony Soprano's sidekick, not Paulie Walnuts, but Little Steven. What you're doing right now is Little Steven, but what you did for 1 second is Donald is Donald Trump, but it was different. When you look back on it, you'll see those. The turn down is little Steven, and
This is the only time I don't think you're having a run-on sentence because you're talking about me, and I'm fascinated. But let's get, so what's your motive? You didn't answer question 3. Let's check out husbands and wives. What's the best line in that? How about you know what? Let's do husbands and wives when she's at the party and he goes, "Get in the car, you infant." When they what's his name? What's his name?
Sydney Pollack.
Sydney Pollack is at the party in Husbands and Wives, and they're talking about Liam Neeson. And you go, "Wow, I saw Judy the other day. She just looked great. I mean, she looked really good." What's his name? Jack. And he realizes, "I've fucking dumped my wife for this trophy cunt. What have I done?" And then he goes to see her, and she's talking about astrology, and he goes, "I told you not to talk about astrology with my friends."
If you don't,
"You're so rude, Jack." And then he picks her up and he goes, "Get in the car, you infant."
If you don't know what you're talking about, why don't you try not talking?
Yeah. That's such a good line.
They're trying to have
Dig that up, Brad. I'm going crazy here.
They're trying to have an intellectual conversation, and you're jerking off about the zodiac.
Yes.
Well, Lizette Anthony, a British actress doing a perfect American accent. You said Judy Davis was great. Of course, Judy Davis was genius, but everyone
She was Australian, wasn't she?
also doing an American accent. But who ever heard of Lizette Anthony and every genius thing in that movie? And she says, well, there's nothing intellectual about them. They're just so stupid. They're just
Yeah. She's good too.
And they
actually, she's so good that I always thought of that actress as a stupid blonde because it's like I heard this soap opera star would be at the grocery store and women would come up and dump eggs on his head and go, "That's for what you did to Julia." And I feel that way about her. I'm like, "You fucking dumb bitch. Sydney Pollack left his wife for you, you idiot." She's like, "I'm a British actress. I'm Shakespearean. I wasn't a dumb bitch. That was my character." But she convinced me.
Yes.
Did you just come?
So convincing to you. You even switched to the British accent right in the right time. She's so convincing. Her face was white when Sydney Pollack, when Liam Neeson came and said,
"Get fucking ugly."
And yeah, let's not get. He didn't say fucking. He doesn't like when Pollack says fucking. He says, "Let's not get ugly." And she knocks at the door, and her face is actually white. The only time I've seen that was when Ellen Burstyn in 1970. Alice doesn't live here anymore.
Let's not go off in tangents,